Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Tennis Manager. We're on episode number 9. We enter October and the Beijing Open, and despite not getting a seeding, we actually still lucked out and got a first round bye. But our second round, the round of 64 for this tournament, and it's not a huge tournament in terms of prize money either. Our second round opponent's going to be a bit tough. Again, in the past, top 25 really give Anne trouble, and she's been hovering, about 10 spots below that. She seems to take care of business against most opponents outside of the top 35 to 40 consistently, and then in that range occasionally, and then top 25 generally beat her fairly comfortably. So this is the closest we've seen to the edge of that top 25 in a while. We'll see if she's any better, but she's only improved about one position overall. We're going to continue with our quick sim format for now because it's time to wrap this current season up, and with it being October, we're not far from that happening. We do drop this one as expected. Quite unfortunate in fashion. I mean, we lost massively, 1-6, 0-6, only 27% of points won. No aces, at least there was no double faults, but we gave up 8 and 0 on the opposite side. And then only 7 total winners and 12 unforced errors. So nearly doubling up, while our opponent went the exact opposite direction with that one. So pretty worrying performance there by Anne. End of season time is nigh, and at this point, looks like Anne is not somebody we're going to be able to hang on to here late October. I think we'll try one more time to see if we can re-sign her, because I've already got one athlete on our radar as somebody I'd really like to get signed for next season, and we're going to be able to have 2, give or take, near the start of the year. Keeping Anne would be a good choice, as I haven't found a second option as of yet. We enter our smallest tournament in quite some time, but still not in an optimal position. Yes, we get a first round bye, but as a 9 seed, it looks like there's still plenty of quality in this tournament. This round of 32, though, should be pretty comfortable, but then in our next round, we've got 28th ranked. So just outside of that edge of what's a bit too much for us to handle. It looks like we might have a chance to get out of that next round, but limited chance. And up against the Montenegrin, who is ranked 99th in the world, we can't even take care of business. We win a close first set, 6-4, and then in the second set, it goes all the way to tiebreakers, and we score 5 points in the tiebreaker, but come up just short, and then have to go to a third set where we aren't able to take care of business, and we lose in that one 4-6. 48% of overall points won. Serve points won definitely did not favor us well. Let's see, aces was 15, so we absolutely dominated the Montenegrin here in that regard. 3 double faults, a hair too much, but considering our opponent was at 5 and 2, 15-3 looks a bit better. First serve percentage was not great. And then let's see, what else? Ouch, 48 total winners, but our opponent managed 68. So she really had a dangerous return in rallies. And then unforced errors, again, just devastating us this season with Anne. 29 unforced errors. Too aggressive, gives away too much, and she's, generally she's not scoring a ton of winners. So just keeping the ball in play and forcing your opponent to make mistakes is, I think, a better option than what we're seeing from Anne, who gives a lot of matches away. And as that was a small tournament, we barely end up getting paid anything for that one. It's been a month, but we are able to have a third attempt at re-signing Anne, so let's go for it. We'll accept the objectives. We'll keep her as a promising player. She wants 15%. Obviously, we want to bring that back up near where we're at and see if we can get a tiny increase. I'm going to start at 23 for our counter offer, and she rises to 16. Let's bring that down to 21, which is where it is right now. I'm not sure she's going to accept that. We'll go to 20, which is actually already below, but we've already found out we could make some money. And for us, it's her sponsorship deals that's going to help continue to bring in a good source of income for us. She still won't sign even for 20. In fact, she didn't even budge. Let's try 18. I honestly can't go any lower than that. I mean, we've got to be able to make some money from having Anne as a player. It's not like she's getting terribly deep into tournaments or anything. Okay, she agreed. She agreed. Now, we've seen this before. And then immediately had a message that said to the contrary, that they didn't agree. So we'll go ahead and out of here. Agreement in principle. Final answer within a week. Last time it said no. Last time we did this, it flat out said no. So we have something. We might have a deal. Unfortunately, our percentages are getting worse, not better, but she has moved up in rankings quite a bit from where we first signed her. We've helped her improve this season a bit. So she's going to have to just get a little deeper into her tournaments next year for us to keep a positive balance going with her, keep things going in a way that's profitable for us. But so far, so good. I mean, like I said, this season has gone surprisingly well, considering our first attempt at a playthrough where things did not. Nah, never mind. She has refused yet again. All right, so we have one worth participating in. We've earned a 4 seed and automatically already quarterfinals of the promising finals. Gosh, that sounds like a tongue twister. All right, let me break it down for you if you don't know what this is, as it took me a second to figure out what it is. Promising, as in the role that you have within a contract. So Anne is a promising player via her contract. So what we have, there you go, status, promising player, aged 14 to 21 years of age. Okay, so it's a young players tournament. That's what we're involved in here, is a young players tournament. And the finals, are the best young players of the season. Now, ironically, our very next round may perhaps be against the very player that I'm looking to, in this case, it looks like replace Anne, as she keeps not signing contracts. Even though we've gotten her to agree a couple of times now, she continues to then turn around and go out into the bars and get drunk and make a scene and be in the paper for all the wrong reasons and not sign those contracts that she's agreed to in principle twice on. Anyway, the player, Corey Goff. Corey Goff is the one I'm looking at, who has a very similar talent level to Anne currently. You can see just how close they are ranking-wise, but then also has like max potential, or just about. And considering I've only scouted a handful of players so far, to have come across one of that nature, who is also young, obviously, in the promising finals, so she's quite talented, keeping an eye actually on all 8 of these players would probably be a wise move, getting to sign any of them, even if it's our lowest ranked one. A Migway might be useful for us. Indoor season, so the lighting is quite clear and evident, and I really like how they do this. But Anne makes an absolute meal of the first couple of points. Easy returns on both occasions. There was nothing in that serve. It wasn't on the edge. It was not on the corner. Again, wow, Anne is just having a terrible start to this game. She finally gets something going here, but she is massively struggling in this first game, even though she's pumped and her opponent is only confident, but she's slowly starting to fight back after this atrocious start. Can she salvage this first game? She's going to have to score at least a couple points, and no unforced error, and she gives away the first game. Nice serve there, but that's all for naught, as the opponent is able to get the return on it. (40-30), 40-40. She's allowing her opponent back in. And she gives the game away. I don't know how that happened from 40-40. There was no advantage or anything. All of a sudden, the game just went to the opponent. Are we playing to 4? The set's over. 4-1. 5 sets that they're playing. Totally different rules here than what we're used to. And boy, that makes that first game giveaway all the more important. You're only playing to 4. Each game matters that much more. You can't afford to give away much at all. 40-40 here. She gives that one away. And there's no advantage being played. It looks like after 40, that's it. I mean, it's just straight, you get a winner. Here we are, 40-40. And yes, it is. Straight winners, no win by 2. Figuring out the rules as we go along. It's 3-3. If we're not having a win by 2, is that going to be the same case here? In fact, look, it's 1-1. This is a tiebreaker. This is already a tiebreaker. And really not moving across the indoor court very well. Which is weird because she has good movement. She has very good movement. It's something we've worked on with her and improved, and it was already good. And yet, we see time and time again opponents moving across the court so much better than Anne does. Again, that was an easy ball. She's backcourt that it wasn't hit with power. The following ball. Oh, nice. Nice slam there. Back half of this season, she has, well, back 3/4 of this season, really. She had such an amazing run at the beginning of the year. What a run. She has not been able to match that at all. She's only won 1 tournament, but she's only been in a few small tournaments. So, with that as a consideration, but she's only made deep runs in those first couple of tournaments, and she's barely done anything since then, and she is now on the verge of getting knocked out of the final here in the promising tournament. She trails 3-0 already, and again, we're only playing to 4, so a single game loss the rest of the way. 2 points away from being eliminated. Now 1 point away, and that's it. She is out, and deservedly so. She is going to be out of the team. That might have been her last match. I'm assuming it's November now. And that was terrible. It was absolutely awful play. Just horribly, horribly bad. The unforced errors have destroyed 3/4 of her season. So considering what she's demanding, what she's expecting, and how she's recently more and more frequently losing, right? Just at the beginning of the episode, I was trying to give her praise to say that it's the top 25 that beat her. Everybody else she handles. No, it's not. It's not. She's been losing matches to a lot. She does just enough. She gets just deep enough into tournaments to ultimately kind of hang on to the ranking that she has. But I'm not quite sure how she's managed to do that because she really isn't going anywhere in any of these tournaments. And I don't think there's going to be any chance of actually getting her re-signed at this point. And I'm starting to not want her to be re-signed at this point. She is willing to listen, though, and we did it. We made it to the next gen finals, so she now has a 100% devaluation on the year. But she has just 20 days left on her contract. Right back at 15%. I'm going to just start at 19 this time. Okay, this time she has signed immediately. So we started a lot closer to her demands this time. And while she didn't fully accept, this is good. She might actually re-sign. Even though I've offered her praise all the way through and then just took it. I rolled it back just a second ago. So this is that slap in the face agreement in principle. I'm not even worried about her training anymore. I just want to find out what happens here at the end of the year. And she agreed to sign the contract. Wow. Okay. So we've done it. She's our moneymaker. She is our moneymaker. That was costly. The signing bonus. But we still have plenty of money left. We have plenty of money to go and sign somebody else when our facility upgrade is complete in about a month and a half from now. Right about the turn of the year. Ooh, she does have another tournament. We're in Taipei, and she's the 1 seed. Who is our 2 seed for comparison? 52nd ranked. There is very little money in this one, and it's the smallest tournament she's been in since the one that she won. Can she make that 2 from 2 from these tiny tournaments? She's going to need to salvage this season a little bit. Again, as she has not really done much of anything since the first part of the year. 6-3, 6-4 in the first match. Still 12 unforced errors. 10 aces, 1 double fault. We have an even easier matchup with Wild Card here in the second round. Oh, and I'm feeling a little regret at the moment as to re-signing her. She's a cash cow now to me, and that's about it. She really underperforming, and the unforced errors, 16, and only 28 winners where the opponent had 42. She just lost to somebody ranked almost 100 spots below her, or right about 100 spots below her. I mean, that's a massive difference. We collect $700 for the tournament. She should be punished. She should be penalized for playing so poorly. I wish you could do something like that. Instead, we continue to get punished as she demanded more and more, despite playing so poorly as the season went on. Period report for the indoor season. Somehow that was 6 tournaments. Most of them weren't actually indoor tournaments, though. 141 points won is all we managed. Prize money also down significantly, but we didn't have any majors. We didn't have any Grand Slams through that period. Matches played, 9. Just 3 wins, 3 and 6 through that period. Might be our worst record at this point. On the annual finance report, first time we've seen one of those. Equipment suppliers, huge source of income for us. That big contract with Anne made a massive difference. The academy businesses, just 22,000. The tournaments brought in 162. But the academy businesses, that's going to go up by quite a bit. I think we're going from, 2,000 a month to 7,000 a month here very soon. So that's going to be plus 5,000 each and every month. That's going to add up to an extra 60,000 next year. That's going to have an impact. That is absolutely going to have an impact. In terms of expenses, the upgrades obviously were the costliest thing of the year, but the staff, even without a number of staff, that still cost us quite a bit of money. But of course we did let go a couple of staff members right at the start, and we may be in a better position for next year to maybe bring one more back on board anyway, so we can have some proper training throughout the year. All right, so I had 2 very, very, very weak members of staff. I've gone ahead and allowed both of their contracts to expire. We're going to look to bring in somebody new, and it didn't cost us anything to remove them. So we had a minimalist scout, and we had a minimalist physio. So I'm going to look to replace both of those. We're also going to end the season with another hefty payment. It's set up as a yearly thing, yearly bonuses, and we're at the end of that contract. So Yonex, Lacosta, Babolet, all of them had Grand Slam win bonuses. We obviously didn't achieve that, but they all had ranking bonuses, and we just hit the mark for all three. As a result, we added our payout was a pretty good share of that for the bonuses. Plus those monthly payments will continue on. So hooray, hooray. We got another payout. Our current balance now back in pretty good shape. And now we just need to, here soon, assign a second athlete to the team. Still in December, as we wrap this season up, here's a cash injection from the board, 200,000. So 200,900 added, and that's going to be a massive influx. That now puts us at 343. So let's go ahead and take a look at our infrastructure. We are under a month till we are complete with the Sports Center and the Business Center upgrades. We have Youth and Scouting Center. We have the Medical Center. Right now, I don't feel like I need to be spending money on those two, and I'm more interested in adding revenue at this point. I think we need to continue to build our revenue stream so that A, we can afford to even have proper staff, but B, we can upgrade these facilities more quickly. So with that in mind, and just a month to go until these are done, I'm curious to see what the next upgrade will cost us. Obviously, it's going to cost us more than the 150,000, but will it cost us under 250? Hopefully it does, so that we can both sign our next athlete and do our next upgrade. And I think that would be fantastic, and it would be one of these, continuing on with the pattern we have right now. But to figure out what that is, we'll have to wait till next time. We have finished off our first season. We will retain Ann Lowell for another year. Revenue only dropping by a few percentage points, but my expectations for her are quite low. After 3/4 of this season, she has underperformed. However, to be honest with you, her rank was about 50 something, and she performed more like somebody who should be ranked 50 or something. She lost some matches she shouldn't lose. She won some matches she shouldn't win. And maybe her strong performance in the first quarter elevated our expectations of her, or my expectations of her, a bit too much. But ultimately, it paid well to have her on the squad. We brought in winnings, money-wise, a good 300,000 from having her. That's enough for the two upgrades that we have. So we made progress. We didn't just survive to the end of the season to get the cash influx from the board, and that being the only way we've been able to upgrade. We've been able to bring in money from her and from the board, collectively 500,000. So, while she might not have performed tremendously well, it doesn't matter. We're trying to build facilities. We need finances. It's been all about finances, and finances ultimately have been good. Could have been better. She could have gotten deeper into tournaments. She could have brought more money in than she did, but it certainly could have been a hell of a lot worse. I was expecting it to be a lot worse. So we'll take that. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.